Hello there, I'm Kevin Ragland, and I wanted to show you some things I wish I would have known from the beginning using IbisPaint. Just different tools and stuff you can use, and things that have definitely changed the way I do art in general. So we're going to get started here. I'm using a fairly small canvas at the moment. My pen is like 4.4 pixels. I'm using the dip pen hard, as you can see. So for starters, one thing that I utilized pretty heavily from the beginning was the stabilizer up here, which when I very first started using IbisPaint, I was drawing on an iPhone, a very small iPhone, so I had a very hard time with the lines. Now it's fine, and it's very nice being able to have lines with the little the little small tip like that. I'm able to use that pretty well now. But from when I started, I used to turn the stabilizer all the way up like this and then flip this little switch on. And it makes your lines way like nicer looking, especially when I was using iPhone. And for what we're about to do, we're going to just make like a little simple face using circles. The stabilizer makes circles like look way better. Which these are the little drawing tools down here. Like you can do circles and squares and stuff, and you can either make it to where it's filled, to where it's just like a solid circle, or to where it's not filled, to where it's just like an empty circle. And we're going to do the empty circle. So we're going to just do a circle, and this is where you can utilize layers, because we're gonna want to erase some stuff that's going to be underneath other stuff. So we're just going to do a very weird looking face, like a simple face. Erase this part here. And it's going to be doing like an O face. Oh, and I'll go ahead and show you how to use the fill. See, it just makes it a solid circle. And that really comes in handy when you're doing like pupils and stuff like that. Well, okay, that's good enough. So when it comes to coloring, I do literally every color on a different layer, so that I can give everything like 3D shading. So we're gonna give this guy light blue skin and color in these little parts right here. And one thing I like to do to help me color is I'll put a layer underneath the other layers. Don't mind my color palette. I know it's crazy. And then I'll fill it with like a blue like this. And then when I'm coloring, that'll make it slightly easier to tell where I missed color. So what I like to do, this is the first, aside from the stabilizer pen, this is the first thing that changed everything for me when I learned you could do it, which is this little lock over here, this right here. It's the alpha lock, and when it's on, it makes it to where whatever color is on the layer, it will, like anything you draw will not go outside the lines. It will not go outside of that color you use. So right now I'm drawing all over the place, but it's only going in that one color. And that was amazing to me when I first learned that. It took me a while to learn that. So then we're going to use a dark red for its mouth, and then a bluish white for its eyes. Maybe I should do the eyes on different layers since they're kind of overlapping like that. Oh, that might make them slightly easier to shade in a little bit. And then we'll just make it have, I guess we'll make it have red eyes. Why not? The main character of my comic, Regeneration Girl, has red eyes. And you can read that by following the link in the description, along with my other comics. Okay, so we're going to add alpha lock to this one too. Do we have alpha lock on everything? Yes. So for the next thing that changed everything for me, let me make sure I don't have any, yeah. That's going to be the airbrush pen. As soon as I realized the airbrush pen was in here, like, holy crap. That combined with the alpha lock, because, let me show you. It makes shading really simple because all you have to do is just shade it like this. And it doesn't go outside the lines. And that is like so easy. And you can give it like an under light right here using the original color. And then you can use a white to give it a little bit of a highlight up there. And then a little lower light down here. So yeah, and then we'll use that to kind of shade the mouth a little bit. Or the inside of the mouth, I should say. Oh, and that's actually another good thing I wanted to show y'all. When you have the alpha lock on, like this, if you wanted to add something to an already existing layer, like a color layer, like let's say, wait, let's just use an airbrush, I guess. Let's turn this all the way up to 100. In case you didn't realize, I was using it on 30% before, over here. I usually use it on 30%, but I'm going to move it up to 100 real quick. Like if we were to draw just a big thing like this, but we wanted it to be on an existing layer and not go outside the lines. As long as that layer is on alpha lock, what you do is you click this little arrow down over here, this one, merge layer down, and then you click no, and it just merges it into the already existing color and gets rid of everything that's outside of the outline. And that makes it so simple. Like you can use patterns that way. Like if you wanted to give somebody fishnets or something like that, or stripes on their outfit, you could take an already existing pattern you have and then mold it to the area you're wanting to put it on, and then use this, and it will just stay inside the lines. And that has helped me so much since figuring that out. Sorry if I have little coughs here and there. I'm just getting over being sick. But yeah, let me take this off, and we can finish coloring him real quick. So we can use black and then color his eye. Oh wait, we're still on 100% here. Put it back on 30. We can color his eyes. Like so. And then we can put them together. And then we can color these eyes. And a quick little eye tutorial if you haven't seen my actual eye tutorial yet. I've heard before that when coloring irises, you can always imagine them as like the little inward circle on the Death Star or like a bowl where since they're like going inwards, the shadow will always be wherever the light is coming from. Like if the light is is coming from over here, then the shadow will be over here. And then you can use a highlight like this from wherever the light's coming from. And then that makes them look all good. And then you can do an extra little light over here, because this is where the light would be if the light was coming from that direction. Our face is looking pretty terrifying, right? But yeah, I usually do the highlight over the pupils. And another thing I want to show you real quick is the lasso pen. So it's up here, as you can see. And with the lasso pen, you can carve stuff out. So if I looked at this and I wanted to color something in this specific area, but I didn't want it to get outside of that area, I could do that. And then if I go back to pen, when I color it in like this, it won't go outside the line. And that can really come in handy with certain drawings you're doing. What I'll usually do with that is if I accidentally, like earlier how I combined these two eyes together, if I didn't mean to do that, but it was too late to like go back and fix that, all I'd really have to do was just use this to outline one of the eyes separately from the other, like that, and then I could do it that way. I could shade it that way, and it wouldn't really go onto the other eye. So that really comes in handy. And I think I brought up the liquify pen earlier, did I not? So this little area right here, the special, basically it starts off being the liquify pen. So you can use it to kind of drag things around like this. So if something is just a little off, which I suggest always using the little flip right here to check your drawing to make sure it looks good. This guy is terrifying. To make sure it looks good from every angle. If for some reason your drawing looked a little off from the side, you could just liquify it to kind of shape things up a little bit if you wanted to. This would probably be easier if let's just put all these layers together. And by the way, if you want to just combine layers and don't want to do the thing from earlier, you just click yes, and it'll just combine them and take the alpha lock off. But yeah, now that it's all combined together, you can just easily like mess with it using the liquify pen. And then there's a shrink to where you could shrink it. And there's a expand where you can make it all big. And I use those a lot. Another thing that's pretty useful is the filters. With the filters, there's like so many different things you can use to make your drawing look neat. Like if your drawing's kind of a color you didn't want it to be, you can kind of fix that using like hue and stuff. Or you could change the entire drawing color if you wanted to. You can change the brightness and you can make it grayscale if you wanted to. And you can make things blurry. You can make it look like it's being Thanos snapped. And some things that really come in handy for me is like drop shadow, where you can just make a very easy shadow other than like this. As well as stuff like bloom. Let me find it. Here it is. That just makes things bright. So you can just easily make lights by using bloom. And that's come in handy for me a lot. And, yeah, I think that that's pretty much it. I think those are the main things that definitely change the way I do things with drawing. If there's more that I forgot about or whatever, I might eventually make a part 2 to this. But those were the main things that once I figured them out, I just used them for then on out because they completely changed the way I did everything. So hopefully this was helpful to you. I will have more videos soon. I'm still trying to do the every Sunday thing. So yeah, hopefully this was helpful, and if it wasn't, then I guess I'll just go fuck myself.